by the way, it was in good condition. It wasn't in bad condition, and it was serving the purpose, but it was not in compliance. The material was not in compliance. So the way it works is you start replacing those lines. Meanwhile, the engineer is doing those plans, and that's what the next item is for. The 18,500 is so that he can develop those plans as they're building the facility, so that we can have a set of plans at the completion of the construction. He's fast tracking those plans as we're building it. And that's a way that it was recommended by our building inspector. Do as-built plans as you building the facility. But then later on, he decided he wasn't comfortable. A decision after 2 weeks, he decided he didn't feel comfortable from night to morning. And so we decided to get another inspector, and we asked a second opinion from another inspector that, by the way, this inspector does inspection for school districts, state buildings, and buildings and the community. And he has like 4 licenses. And we asked him, is this possible to get done this way? Yes, it is possible. Everything that they're doing as they're moving forward, because the walls are open, it's easier to make the plans, because you're not developing plans for something that is unforeseen. You actually have the walls open, and you can develop those plans better, what more precise.
This is news to me. Did the fellow council members know about getting a different inspector that's not from the city? Because in the backup document, it doesn't say that. It says that the city building official is going to be doing all the inspections and working closely with the Holt Group. It's in the next item. My apologies. But yeah, so that's news to me, but I guess we'll get to that one in the next item. But yeah, so there's no plans I've seen. I can't compare what's in the plans to this, and I think that's a key component of approving these orders, being able to see them and what was initially approved, because there's been quite a few change orders since the start of this, and as-built plans typically incur more costs than already approved set of plans reviewed, because you're finding things. So with that said, I mean, I did request that information. I haven't been able to get it. I don't know if anyone has anything else to add. I requested the plans that were put out, the complete bid package. Since I wasn't here as a council member, it wasn't part of the initial approval process. So I did request those documents and the background to how we got to here. Because these change orders, they just say requested by fire department. Okay, fire department, has a aspect of life and safety, but building code, that is nothing less for the fire department, but that's a different department. And I do want to see the backup information, and I want to see what the initial plans that were done in 4 weeks have versus what's going on here.
Yes. So Ms. Councilmember Tailinda did request the information today at 12:37, and unfortunately we didn't have enough time to respond. But one thing that we did is to bring the inspector's information, so you can review it and you can check. You have experience in checking contractors' licenses. And also, but we did it ourselves too. Ms. Palomir made sure that we review all the contractor licenses and the inspector licenses. And also, we had the inspections performed by this inspector. Every step in this project has been reviewed by the inspector, by the construction manager, which in this is the whole group what they're building the plans, and the fire department has been with us. The inspector, Mr. Villa, has been in every single meeting as well. Yeah. And the contractor company. So it's being reviewed by many people. Yes, we are not the expert. I'm never going to claim an expertise that I don't have. Of course. But we're coordinating with other agencies. They're all coming together.
I would have liked to see that information. It was not provided.
No, I have it
Yeah.
over here. And then you're going to get the additional information early in the morning. That is okay.
So, in an effort to expedite and so anybody else, questions, comments?
Might I like to make a motion if I can?
Yeah.
So, I'd like to make a motion to approve with the contingency, is have our own building inspector review it, and come back with a full report.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
And also, I think you also wanted some documents, right?
Yes,
Yes.
hopefully I get that.
They will be sent
You want me
out.
to amend it, do that? I can.
No, it's fine.
You're gonna find,
I'll
okay.
follow up.
Mayor Domingo Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Item number 22. Authorize city manager to sign amendment number 2 between the city of Calexico and the whole group, Inc., in the amount of $18,500 for construction management services for renovation to Calexico Fire Station number 2 for a total contract of $149,000. Public Works Manager.
As Mr. Holt has mentioned, the Holt Group has been doing additional work, not only for the change orders, but as well as this project is to design build. So in order for the Holt Group to complete the as-built plans, they are requiring a change amendment to their original contract by $18,500 so we can finalize the as-builts and do all the change orders that we have been approved.
Do you have any comments on that?
Jesús Solano.
Jesus Solano, 426 Rosemont, Calexico. Here we go again. Another change order. From day one, we knew the situation on that building. Foreseen or unseen, whichever way you want to put it, okay, or whichever way you want to believe it. We knew from day one that we needed to meet a deadline, period. The persons that bid on the contract, they knew there was a deadline. We have change orders after change orders. Well, let's move on. On this one here, after reading this last page here, my understanding is that this contractor is requesting $18,000 and $500 more for doing his job, when he knew from day one, when he put a bid for it, that there was a deadline. And now, he's trying to put the council on a squeeze, like either you pay or it's up to you guys. So, I mean, it's nonsense. This last one is totally nonsense. I can go along with the other one. I don't agree, but you know, the responders need it, let's go. Let's go. They need it, we need it. If they don't have it, we don't have it. But this last item, I mean, this is nonsense. This is really, I mean, completely out of hand.
Thank you, Mr. Solano. Anybody else? Bring it back to council.
Yes, is this similar to the first
No.
change? No, because it's the same amount, that's what I'm asking.
No, one is $18,000 for prevailing wages monitoring. The state of California requires that we develop full binders and be submitted for prevailing wages, which includes payrolls to ensure that we are doing, paying the right amount, because the project is a federal and a state project, requires prevailing wages monitoring, includes payrolls, and we have a third party doing the revisions. It's not the city staff, so that we don't change numbers or anything.
Right.
So, and that's what we're paying. So instead of going up to bid, we asked the whole group to bring a person, a specific company, a third-party company into the project so they can do the monitoring of the prevailing wages, to ensure that the contractor was paying the prevailing wages.
So,
Exactly.
okay, so again, but that's, there's two amendments, right? This is the second one.
Yes.
The first one is not similar to this one.
No, the first one is to monitor the prevailing
Okay.
wages are being paid correctly, because those are binders that we need to submit to the state.
Okay.
This one is for the design, the changes in the design, what is called as-built designs, as they're fixing the items inside of the facility. They developing the designs, so that's what he's charging 18,500.
Thank you.
I have a question. Could you provide, in light of transparency, because it seems to be the same consulting group, the procurement process that was followed to select this company for this project?
Yes, we can forward that to you.
Oh, you can't give us a summary?
Oh, which one are the other companies that submitted bids for the designing? Do you remember?
I don't recall, I'm sorry, you were talking about maybe about in January.
Yes.
Then
We
I
had
to
3
look.
bids in total.
But there was the city approached, or the 3 companies, and the Holt Group was the one that was able to assist us within the time period that was needed.
It was
So-
presented in January to the city council.
Excuse me, let me finish my question. So the city reached out for proposals, or we released an RFP for these services that they're doing right now?
We did a task order, so we did a on-call engineering list.
Okay. Let's see. I don't have any more.
I have a question. If we hold on to this, it does not stop the construction of the building, right? This is something completely different, that's my understanding?
Losing one time is similar to the other projects. You're losing time, you have to pay more for people to start the work. That's number one. Number two, we have a grant deadline to meet. And like I mentioned before, we couldn't leave them there, living in mold. If that's the desire of the city council. But that was not the desire. My first impression when I get to the facility is the mold that I saw. And I asked Chief Avila, you need to remove them because that's an OSHA finding. And so he did. He followed the instructions and removed them from that facility. The city doesn't have the funding for this facility. We never had it. They were gracious enough to allocate $500,000. But $500,000 wasn't going to make it. And that's what I literally begged the state to give us additional funding by showing the pictures and the conditions that they were living. And they were able to make that change. They were able to revive a grant that it was lost already. Now, we have another grant for $170,000, which we used $6,000 for the families that were impacted by the fire. $164,000 of that money is going to be transferred for this project so that we can have the funding available. As they're waiting for the additional funding, the $500,000 that we apply. I just want you to keep that in mind. It is not in my best interest to make change orders. It is not in my best interest to run to a project like this, but I do really believe that the city needs this additional facility. We're not providing the services to the west side the way that we're supposed to provide.
Ms. Kohler, you mentioned Eastgill, it's a company, right? You mentioned a company. Who's Eastgill in your comments? Or somebody mentioned it.
I don't know, but, well, I don't remember hearing Ms. Colio, but Escal is our third-party consultant that the planning department uses to send the plans for review.
Yes.
Okay, so the general contractor, engineer, what, is it architect or from, what,
It's architecture engineering, right?
right? Okay.
When they're designing new building, like the building that you're gonna have for the Heber, hopefully, it's usually sent to those companies because there are structural companies that review those designs. This is a rehabilitation of a 16 facility. It's not a new facility.
So, go ahead. Sorry, my comment.
I would like to be provided with all the backup regarding the procurement process for all the amendments to this contract, please, of the Hulk Group.
Okay.
So, I want to say something. I think it goes back to every single item that we have touched on change orders and everything else that it's on the agenda and in future agendas for that matter. I know what we are suffering from, and we have limited staff, and we have to go out and contract out because we don't have that expertise. A lot of times in-house, and I know that cost, and I know that we bring different knowledge and experiences to the table, and yes, it pains me to see these change orders, but not until we start getting the talent and looking into having our own talent in-house. So we're suffering on that, and unfortunately also another thing that we're always kind of like going at the 11th hour I mean, from day one, we were told, you know, about this deadline for the end of October. And then everything else that, you know, it's available to this grant, even the ARPA funds, you know, we're also running really short on that deadline to at least, you know, obligate all those monies, you know, by the end of this year and fully expend them by 2026. So we're also here, you know, bearing, you know, a lot of that fault, you know, because we need to make sure that we bring the talent, that we hire the talent also, and keep what we have and continue to, you know, provide, you know, the tools that they need. Because if we don't do that, we're going to keep on coming across these situations, unfortunately. So I know, and I really dislike this, but we really need to do this. So it will cost us, but you know, I want to get this finished and let this be a lesson to all of us here in this dais, and you know, to start looking as to how we're going to mitigate these type of issues coming up. And as we get familiar with you know, ourselves here also, the processes, let's make sure that we include additional information. And with that, I make a motion to approve. If there's a second.
I second it.
Can I make his comments, Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
Before we go move, okay. So Easgo is another player in this equation. We got another company now. My question is why we have a building inspector that we can use and we're going outsourcing. My question is, why can't we use our building inspector when the law allows us to do that? That's my question. I even said before, let's invite him in, look at what we got, and then give a full report before we make my determination whether I approve his project or not. I am going to make this, well, you already made a motion, but my initial motion is to do the same thing as the previous motion. And for those reasons, I'm not comfortable. I don't think $18,000 is a big, you know, but I would like to see our own employee, building inspector, look at the project with a different set of eyes and give a report.
Yeah, but in this case, Mr. Moreno, it's not about the inspection, it's about the, you know, administration of this
Engineering.
project, right? I mean, I wish we had that in-house, you know, knowledge, you know, but we don't have it, and we have to outsource, and that's what really is hurting us, and will continue to hurt us unless, you know, we also contribute to that as a council. Thank you. So there's a first and a second. Welcome.
Mayor Camilo Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno,
No.
Councilmember Gloria Ramos absent, Councilmember Victor Legaspi,
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Thailenda,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Item number 23, introduction and first reading by title only of an ordinance amending Calexico Municipal Code Section 2.04.60 regarding City Council agenda order of business, City Clerk, and actually, I'm going to speak to that also.
Yes.
This is something that I know we're here almost 11:30. So I want to make sure that we expedite. I know, you know, I don't want you to fall asleep, but we need to expedite these meetings. So I want to make sure that I make this change, or I suggest this change, not make this change, but suggest this change to the council, where we can move the public comments, start with half an hour at the beginning, and then if there's more public comment, we can take them at the end of the meeting. But that has to go through an ordinance. So anything else that I missed? So with that, since I'm proposing, I guess I'll second. I mean, at first.
Okay. Your
Move
motion.
to.
Motion.
Who's second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Camilo Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno,
Yes.
Councilmember Gloria Ramos absent, Councilmember Victor Legaspi,
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Thailenda,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. So now we're gonna have to extend the meeting.
I'll make a motion to extend it another. We're going to go with 3 more items, I think, right?
Yes.
Can we do it in 15 minutes?
Well, we'll try to extend.
Okay. I'll give you, what, for half an hour?
Half an hour.
Yes.
Okay.
So do I have a second on that? to move the meeting, to extend the meeting another half hour.
I have a question before that. Would it be possible to bring the last items back to a special meeting? Because I do have questions on them, so it doesn't run any longer.
Are these time sensitive, Esperanza? These
which-
items? Which one? All of them?
Which one? Yeah. So I think
you
we
wanna
can
take
do
that
that
one?
one. Yeah.
Yes.
So you want to
And
take
then
that one item and
just that
table
one,
those?
and the other two, yeah.
Can I ask you, let me consult with Ms. Finance, are those time sensitive, the ones items that were moved from the,
That's item 9, 12, and 14.
okay, so we can table that one? Yes, we're gonna have, but I wanna make sure, I wanna clarify that we all understand that we're having a special meeting on the 12th for budget, proposed budget. We can add those items to that meeting if that's the desire, or we can add it during the following week, which is the hearings for the budget. You let me know what is your desire to do that.
I think we can have it on the 12th, and it'll be something quick. I just don't want us to be here another hour. I think the last two, 12 and 14, is going to need at least 30 minutes, 15 minutes each, maybe.
Okay, so
So we could do it then.
if you allow me, we have the Prop 218 for the 12th, and we have the budget meetings for the 12th, proposed budget, and now we're going to have these two items as well. Yeah, I just want to make sure that you understand that there will be 4 items in total.
Mr.
okay?
Attorney, my question for Mr. Attorney, we already made a motion to talk about it. We have to make another motion and vote on to put them back in there, right?
You took them off of consent. If
Right.
you don't want to hear them tonight, you don't have to hear
Okay,
them.
got it. Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
So it is you desire to listen to one that is time,
Item number 9.
okay?
Right,
Perfect,
yes.
thank you. This one.
So we'll go ahead and hear item number 9 from consent that was pulled. Adopt the resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico adopting a list of projects for fiscal year 2024-2025 funded by SB 1, the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017. Public Works Manager.
Yes, back in 2017, California Governor signed Senate Bill SB 1 that assists the cities with the maintenance, the rehabilitation, and the critical safety projects that are regarding to streets. So each year I come before City Council and I provide the list of projects. We can do both, provide new projects or provide the existing projects that are going to be carried over for fiscal year 24-25. The item before you is to carry over all the projects that we have had since probably 2019 that we're still working on, so we can get reimbursed through SB 1 for those projects. So tonight I have, also what this grant, money is used for is, for example, for our streets department. It allows me to use a certain amount of money for operation and maintenance, which is our staff. It allows me to buy concrete to repair sidewalks. It allows me to even purchase some vehicles that are only going to be used in our streets division. We have some vehicles that are in much need of our department, plus all the improvements of Cole Boulevard, Scaroni Road. We also have money that has been set aside for 2nd Street Bridge, All-American Canal, as well as the 2nd Street Bridge, the New River. And then we also have, it also provides me funding to purchase asphalt to patch potholes. And then we also have a coming project that you'll be seeing soon, which is weekly road improvements.
I do have questions. First, I want to commend you again for always carrying these big grants, Miss Lily. Thank you. Now, for these projects, you did mention some of them have carried over from 2019. Could you highlight some of them that have been in the pipeline and the money gets moved around, if possible? I'm sure you have some.
Yeah, well, one of the money that we have been saving that has been since 2019 is the 2nd Street New River Bridge. When the Gran Plaza was going into construction and now it is open. A part of the project that we want to do there is expand the existing bridge, because when you go down to Cesar Chavez on 2nd Street, you'll go down to 4 lanes, and then all of a sudden the bridge goes back into 2 lanes. And then once you pass the bridge, then you go back to 4 lanes. So one of our projects that we have is to expand the bridge so it can be a 4-lane bridge. Another project that we have had is Scaroni Road, which Scaroni Road is between Jasper and Cole. We're currently preparing the plans. They're about 80%. So hopefully that one you'll see it come to council so we can go ahead and request to advertise. And also, let's see, Weekly Road, it's been a project since 2020. Right now it's in the design phase, and hopefully I'll be bringing back to council to also to allow us to advertise for the project.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a question. Has public outreach been done throughout any time of these projects in the pipeline from 2019 to now?
Not during like town hall meetings, but every time we have projects of this type, we come for council to allow us to put in the grant application. And also all of these projects are listed in our capital improvement project. So they're seen, or we can comments can be made during our budget workshops.
Okay, perfect. I have one more question. Given the situation with Heber Park and it missing funding for certain items, would this be, would it qualify for, sidewalk, curb, maybe some of the street improvements in that area? Would it be something that could be included?
Well, that's what Ms. Goliova asked me earlier today, and I said that we can probably include it, but we would have to resurface the area around and then include it into the bid. So, but I would like to do it for 25, 26, seeing that, we have to go back and do modifications to the plans.
Okay, thank you.
Any public comments?
Yes. Jose Hinojosa.
Hinojosa.
Good evening, Jose Hinojosa, 1056 F. Doris. Welcome new city council members, Mr. Moreno, Mr. Garcia. Good evening, and Mrs. Colio. I'm coming here tonight on behalf of the Hartstone community. Back in 2005, the city acquired a debt of $14.7 million to build our community. If you can refer to page 39 of item 12, you can see a map. I don't know if the city clerk can put that image up.
We're in item 9, Mr. Hinojosa.
Yeah, can we please use the map on page 39 of item 12, please? This is referring to this item.
Okay.
You'll see, and for the record, that map is wrong. There's no street, there's no La Jolla Palms Boulevard built, and there's no access. There are no roads when that were supposed to be built with that $14.7 million. And the residents there are paying, we are paying for those roads and for that infrastructure in that community. So for almost 18 years, we've been paying for all the infrastructure that was never built. So having this new council, having this new government, Mr. Solano here, always talking about transparency and having equality and really representing our community. Whenever there's a cancer, whenever there's something wrong with our body, we need to get rid of it. So this is one of the cancers that we have in our city. If we don't fix this now, we're not going to be able to move forward. And I would like to ask this council to give direction to Ms. Falomir to build our La Jolla Palms Boulevard entrance. So our community is not in compliance with the state. So we only have, if we were to build a subdivision today, you would not get a final on it because there's only one entrance, and the entrance that we have, it was supposed to be an emergency entrance while La Jolla Palms Boulevard was built. So $14.7 million. That's a debt that was acquired, and that debt will never be paid because we're not even making the interest payment on it. The principal, I mean, let's not talk about the principal. We're not even making the interest payment on that bond. So on this plan, Mrs. Falomir, council, please let's look at what ask for more information. And La Jolla Palms Boulevard was never built. We have the street lights there. It's half built up to Spud Moreno, but we need to build that road, and we have the funding. And back in 2017, we're supposed to set aside funds to build that road. So let's look at that. Let's go back and search on that. So the council approved the special tax, the 500, whatever number, approved to use that funding to build our roads, to build the Jolla Palms Boulevard. We have the engineer's estimate for that road. It's already there. So I would like to ask for you guys to look at our community, to look at Hartstone, half-built Hartstone, $14.7 million to build our community, to build a family recreation center, the streets, the roads, the sewer, the sidewalks, curb and gutter, and it was never built, and we're paying for it as of now. So I highly would like to ask you to look at our community and use the funds appropriately. Yes, we can do Scaroni, we can do Second Street. Grand Plaza was built with a CFD also. The developer never paid a cent. So are we going to give back to other people who use us, or are we going to give back to our community?
Thank you, Mr. Hinojosa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When is this grant application due?
Well, it's not I have to submit the report by July 1st.
Okay.
And just for FYI, the revenue that is anticipated for 24-25 is $991,000. A lot of the projects that are already on the list, they already have another set of funding. So for the item that Mr. Hinojosa is asking, we would need to find other funding because we won't be able to accommodate within the $991,000.
I'm sorry, there was a reference made.
No,
there is.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. You were saying?
No, since this is a new project, we would need to start with the design as well as, because there's a canal, it's a conversation that we would need to have with the Imperial Irrigation District. Because I don't know, I believe that we had talked about undergrounding it, but then funding wasn't provided, so it would be a conversation between the city and the IID.
The question I have is that a bond on this, Hartstone? Was that a bond? Right? So, Mr. Horton, you're gonna have a lot of work. Yeah, so again, we have obligations, right? We have obligations, so it's, I mean.
Those projects,
Right. And I know IDEA talked about improving that Cole Road. I think that's also gonna be, maybe Mr. Javier Gonzalez could speak on that.
Hearthstone, it's not item number 12. Hearthstone is item number 12. So it's in 20,
Wow.
those are
20
all,
2005.
yes,
around
those
that
are all
area.
projects inherited that we didn't have anything.
So I understand that, but we have to look at ways.
Yeah.
that we can,
All we have.
And I know, Mr. Hinojosa, I didn't mean to be rude, but it's a conversation that we need to have, and I know that there is a need for more time than what we have right now. So please, if you just allow us to bring this back, and we will have that conversation, here.
There's $1 million funded.
So yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Question? So,
I motion to approve.
do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mayor Camilo Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno,
Yes.
Councilmember Guerrero is absent, Councilmember Victor Legaspi,
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Thailenda,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Now, since we've tabled those other items, future agenda items.
So the future items are Prop 218 for the 12th, budget hearings for the proposed budget for the 12th as well, and the two items that were tabled today, and that's for a special meeting.
Yeah, and if I can add one more to that,
Yes, sir.
if I can add appointing your commissioners from the new two council members, because I
Yes.
know some commissions are short on that, so, I mean, you can think about the two incoming council members.
Yes, I had a
For
meeting with them
planning.
on Monday, and I explained to them that it was very important for them to start selecting their commissioners for each one of the commissions, so that we can replace the existing
Yeah,
ones.
so hopefully we can have them, I mean, not pushing you, but we do need to have the commissioners,
Especially for planning commission.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, on that note, Mr. Mayor, I do have also pending two commissioners, and I already have them. Can we also
Well, yeah, you
potentially
include 'em.
advertise for that? I don't know how we gotta do, right?
So we normally do advertise. Do you want me to advertise for these
Right.
positions? Or?
How long do you have to advertise?
Okay, no, I thought you were gonna say something.
No. It's, we're realizing that we're missing two items to be approved still.
No, but those were tabled.
There's
24.
Oh, sorry. I guess I want to go home. Sorry about that. So,
The,
22 and 24?
23.
no, 20.
24 actually only.
It's 24.
24.
were
Yeah.
approved.
So, approval of resolution of the Calexico Financing Authority authorizing investment of funds in the State Treasury Local Agency Investment Fund, interim finance city director.
Yes, it's the change in the agenda. It was a change in the agenda.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and members of the public. Before you, we are recommending, the staff is recommending for you to approve a resolution of the Calexico Financing Authority authorizing investment of funds in the state treasured local agency investment. Currently, the city is investing in its operating funds along with the Calexico Financing Authority funds with the LAIF. The state treasurer cap on the LAIF investments are $75 million. We've already reached that dollar amount, and we are having that money, we're having them in our current banking accounts. So we are requesting for you to give us the authority to open a second account for the housing authority, so we can have those funds separate, and to start a new LAIF account.
How much from those funds would be taken into the second account?
We haven't considered the dollar amount, but it would be for the water and the wastewater bonds to hold that money there.
Thank you.
So you're just creating another account?
I'm sorry?
You're just creating a second account?
Yes, for right now, we're only creating the second account. We would bring to you once we have created it, because there's a procedure we need to follow before we can actually open it. Once we open it, we can come to you and ask the authority to move the funds from one account to the other.
Okay. So I move for approval.
I'll second.
Mayor Camilo Garcia.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno,
Yes.
Councilmember Guerrero is absent, Councilmember Victor Legaspi,
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Thailenda,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you.
Could you excuse me, we're having a little issue with the number 23rd. City, 23rd, 23, yes, city attorney. Is the agenda, the ordinance for the agenda?
We did.
We did it.
Yes,
You introduced the ordinance?
Yes.
yes, that's what I said, so, okay,
Yeah, 22 would be.
yes,
Not 22, 23.
Yeah.
23 I did it also.
23.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can I ask for item number 24, can you just repeat who motioned the item, please? Sorry.
Motion to
Garcia?
do the first.
Uh-huh,
And,
Yeah, I second.
Moreno, okay, thank you.
thank you. So we have the future agenda items. Anything else for the?
So there will be 5 items for the next meeting, right?
I do, I would like to request an agenda item, not for the next 2 meetings.
For the next 2
but
meetings? Okay.
not for those, they seem already full. But I'd like to see maybe sometime in one of the July meetings, maybe the second one, an agenda item to formulate a town hall meeting and invite, the residents at large, but specifically the Lojeo Ponds subdivision, the individual who came up here to voice his concerns regarding the streets and access, and also explore options and invite our IAD representatives and see what's the status on the undergrounding of the canal.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
For the July meeting, right? Okay, maybe. Thanks.
Yes. I was gonna touch base on the town hall meeting on Station 2.
Yes.
Station 2's town hall meeting, can we have that in June? Like
Yes, actually, we requested the 6th, but it wasn't available, so we're requesting now the 20. I think it was the next week. I sent you 2 dates. Yes. So we're gonna see if they have it available. They didn't have it available when we requested it, but we asked for 2 dates.
Can we have that meeting in 2 weeks? I'm sure one of those two is gonna say
Yes, most likely we're gonna be able to have it.
Okay, let's have that meeting in 2 weeks.
Promotions and all of that, so.
Yes.
activities, yeah.
Another thing, not on this next meeting, maybe 2 meetings from now, the license plate readers. We need to work on that. I want you and the chief to work on license plate readers, very important. Also, Assembly Bill 41, the annual report on the militarization of weapons. It doesn't have to be this, it has to be this year. So maybe
July.
2 meetings from now.
Okay.
Also, I want to, I know we don't have a Chamber of Commerce, but I'd like to see if we can have an office here at City Hall for the Chamber of Commerce. We can, I would like to, if that's possible, if you can make it happen.
We'll try.
Okay.
What about if I invite you to come to the building and we look for the building? We look for the
Well,
space.
you know,
We're a building here, right? We're talking about an office. Do we have offices?
On
like to
that-
start-
On that, if we can just contact, some of the members from the previous
Yes.
chamber. And I know Ben is here, and I know there's still some other members
Mr.
to
Romero.
reengage in to, Mr. Legaspi's point. I know the housing them is a bit of an issue, but maybe we can make some space here.
Just
That
a
would be
starter.
good.
It's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
forever thing.
Let's be the incubator for them, again.
Okay.
And just a reminder, Esperanza also, a couple of meetings ago, I did ask, for an RFP to be ready for the first meeting of July for legal services, just as a reminder.
Yes, sir.
That needs to be ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have a couple of minutes.
Oh, okay.
I'll be quick. I know that the community, the homeowners at Hearthstone are greatly impacted. And I'm going to say Mr. Hinojosa brought a couple of things, which I have no clue. So I'd like to have an update on that. Not update, but a fact finding, what's going on with that? Just to give us a point of reference if we are going to be talking about that. Just give us an update. What he talking about, some map doesn't exist, I don't even know. Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm asking, just give us.
The map for what?
The Hearthstone project?
The Hearthstone project
Yeah,
maps?
just give us what's the story behind that?
Okay.
Do some fact finding. Right. Also, I asked a couple of meetings ago some items, Ms. Colio, and had not heard about those. For whatever reason, the Carnegie Library AC has been replaced, I think. The
No.
Carnegie Library?
We actually working with San Diego State
Okay.
University. They came and assessed the facility
Right.
and are pending
Just give
to
us an
provide
update on
us.
that, right?
Yes.
Just give us an update,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Also, the Kiki Camarena Library, I go once in a while, pass by there in that parking lot, that's just horrible. I mean, I know Mr. Legaspi and I talked about that, so I think maybe, how are we gonna fix that?
Okay.
Okay, the other thing that's really, close to me is that the Farm Workers Service Center, I wrote the proposal many years ago, 2019, when I first got in, and it was something that council had both of you weren't here, but I know Mr. Camilo was here with attending those necessities with the farm worker population. I was approached by Congressman Dr. Reese. He wants to revisit that,
Okay.
including additional funding for that. He understands, he comes from a farm worker family. He wants to revisit that farm worker on a, take care of the short-term problems they have with, and hopefully that'll eliminate some of that, the physical necessities you at the alleys and all that. And so, now what I can do on that, Ms. Colio, is I can work with you if you want to. I'm in contact with the office. I was told through his aide is that Catholic Charities was the one who had raised their hand and was going to help us with this project. It's going to require a lot of stakeholders' input, the community obviously, but he's willing. Dr. Reese is willing to revisit the program when we have approval and by legislator, congressman. I think that's really going to be help us with that project.
Would you like me, may I suggest something? It looks like Congressman Reese will be in the town in 2 weeks. Would
Okay.
you like me to schedule?
Well, we can do
meeting?
it if you want to. I can bring all the papers, emails, everything,
Yes.
and I can also bring your breast. I know you weren't really part
Okay.
of that, but and also if we're going to come, I don't know if you want to invite another. Maybe the mayor can be with us there.
Maybe
if he
both
wants
of you
to,
come in.
right?
You know what, to that point, Mr. Moreno, I believe that project has still come to council. I know they were having conversations, you were a champion of that. So if we can just bring it back to the
Right,
council.
and
you know.
to allude to that, yes, but Congressman is going to be here,
Yeah.
and hopefully we
And
can
I
meet with
under-
him.
And I understand that, but I don't think there was ever a formal proposal, an item that came to an agenda, to this
Yeah,
council.
it was. It was.
I might have to revisit that.
It was voted by city council. But anyways,
Yeah.
the point is, he wants to revisit, Congress wants to revisit that project. I think we're in a good position to accept his offer and revisit that. Whatever that goes, I don't know, but if he's going to be here in 2 weeks, we can certainly,
Yes, more or less. I'll send the invitation to all of you.
Okay.
He's planning on coming and visit Calexico.
Right.
I was just notified late today before the meeting, but they didn't give me enough information, so I need to go back and talk to the representative to see times and everything, and I will send you an invitation. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, meeting adjourned. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So move.
Who wants to second? Who seconds? Second for Mr. Gaspi. Roll call. You can go ahead.
Mayor Camilo Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Javier Moreno.
Yes.
Councilmember Guerrero Roma is absent. Councilmember Victor Legaspi.
Yes.
Councilmember Lisa Thailenda.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Meeting adjourned at about 10:55.